I have the 5 years of experience, and so far I have worked on multiple integration technologies like Tibco and Dell Boomi and Oracle Fusion. So I have very good understanding and good experience in multiple Tibco products, not only Tibco BW, Tibco business events and other areas.
Okay.
Okay, so this is from my end, and if you just give me what is your background, and so based on that,
Sure.
I'll get to know.
I have been working on integration project for 7-8 years, but mostly in the WebSphere area. So I've been working with WebSphere Message Broker and MQ series and WTX, WebSphere Transformation Extender, and the WebSphere area. And now the company that I have joined, they are working on migrating from WebSphere to Tibco. So I would like to learn some Tibco BusinessWorks, and basically BusinessWorks is what they're going to use as the mapping and the translation engine for the B2B and EAI scenarios. But they also are going to use the Business Connect as the gateway, B2B gateway.
Yeah, business to business application gateway.
Yes. Yes, so I have worked predominantly with WebSphere based tools. So WebSphere, WTX, WMB, Sterling Integrator and all that. So I have close to 10 years of B2B EDI, EAI experience.
So you are completely in the middleware domain, so you know how middleware everything will work. Only just you are not aware of the Tibco perspective of the integration, how it works.
Correct. I need to understand the in-depth of Tibco perspective, how to do XML to EDI mapping, EDI to XML mapping, how to not just the mapping but to expose as a service, all that REST-based service, JSON-based services. So little bit with all the Tibco architecture, like all the how to do, what is a topic, what is a queue, means I know what is a queue and all that, but they use JMS and EMS, so it is a little bit confusing for me. So I want to understand on those lines.
Okay, well, whatever I understand from you, right? So first I'll try to conclude you. First of all, you are not going to cover EDI, this one here, because that will come under separate Tibco Business Connect. So in that, so these are the different Tibco products. Okay, Tibco BusinessWorks is a one product. This is purely used for the integration, and as you told that Tibco Business Connect is a B2B gateway, so that will be different product. And so to integrate with the multiple Tibco products, at every time there is a one kind of plugin will be giving to integrate from the BW. So if you want to work with the EDI, we have to set up that Business Connect environment, and then only we can use the EDI document processing.
I see. So, no, I am not means I am aware with, because I have worked with other B2B gateways. So I understand that that will be totally separate from BusinessWorks. So first of all, I want to understand and learn the architecture of BusinessWorks, how it works, and what are the intricacies of BusinessWorks. And then later on, I want to maybe take a second class on the Business Connect and business events and all the other stuff.
Okay, I don't have much knowledge on the Business Connect, but yes, I have a good knowledge and understanding on the business events. That is nothing but a CEP technology, complex event processing.
Okay.
Okay, I don't have much knowledge on the. I also worked on other integration B2B product, that's Oracle Fusion. I worked on Oracle Fusion 10G version of the B2B. I have exposed to 11G, but I worked on the 10G version of the B2B. So I also didn't get a chance to work on the Tibco Business Connect.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah.
First of all, I don't think you will be required all this what is integration and all these stuff. You may be the same technology will be there.
Yeah.
So first we'll directly go to the Tibco architecture, how it will be, what are the components will be there, what is the component suite we'll be using for the Tibco BusinessWorks part of BusinessWorks, what are the Tibco related products will be using, and why each product will be using, what is the uses and everything. So we'll just go one by one. I'll just note it down here. What are the things we'll be using?
Before Vima,
Yeah.
just a quick question.
Yeah.
Before we proceed into that, couple of things I wanted to ask you. So do you have he already sent me, Srinivas already sent me the curriculum, like the topics that you would be considering, so going over. So, and also I wanted to find out, are we going to record the classes for future? Can we use like the classes, what kind of notes and like material you will be able to give?
That material means that kind of, there is no specific material I have. Yeah.
Setu Sridhar here. Actually,
Yeah,
Srinivas and me are working together, okay?
Okay.
Whatever Srinivas sent the course curriculum, I only sent to Srinivas, okay?
Okay.
And no worries, Vema will cover all the things which are mentioned in the course curriculum, okay? And also you can record the sessions, no worries, okay?
Okay. So I can record the sessions.
Yeah, this demo session also I'm recording. I'll share you the recorded session also.
Okay.
So daily you can record the sessions. Okay, no worries.
Okay, and also you will be providing some kind of materials also to go over.
Yeah, material. I'm not sure where I need to say something.
Materials especially won't provide, and we'll be covering the scenarios and each and every topic example, and we'll be giving just give you the information, and then if you want, I'll show you the product documents where we will go and get the information corresponding to that.
Okay.
And once we have
I think Setu, I think I can't say material is very important. Material is not important. Material is important, but you know, right? Recorded session is more than material.
Correct. No, I agree. I just wanted to find out if there is.
If there is a material, definitely Vema will send you.
Okay. All right. If you have any tutorial material that we can go over.
Whatever Vema will cover in the classes, everything you can get, okay?
And also what I wanted to find out was this is the time which is suitable for all of us.
Yeah, I will only comfortable morning timings.
So this is the timing, right? This timing.
Yeah, at any time, after 6:30 to 9 o'clock morning. So any time, any 1 hour we can consider. Either 6:30 to 7:30.
This timing we can consider.
Okay. 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 All right. Let's continue. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So we have the products, basically use only one integration products from the Tibco suite of products we'll be using. That is only Tibco Business Works. And these are currently the version there is a multiple versions are using the type of the version. Now we are using the classic version. So Express edition also there, classic edition. This one you used to say Tibco Business Works, classic Business Works. So for that one, so we have the other versions like and Express edition, some other things we have, but only the UI looks to be different, and the features will be different. And we have the current version is 5.11 something. Okay, this is currently running the 5x version, and in that 5 version we have the there is a designer called design time environment, where we can develop all your Tibco business process, and so this one they have given there is a standalone application for that one. Up to the 5 version, 5x version, they have the standard version, standalone design time environment. But now recently, some 1 year back, something they have released 6 version, 6.2 something is the latest one now. But this one is completely, because every middleware product they are just going to use the IDE tool, Eclipse base, and they are also coming to the Eclipse base, and now they have released everything the product, and so they are just administration and everything is an upgrade, product upgrade, and now they are coming up with the Eclipse version. But now nobody is adapting that one, because that is a completely different view and different perspective, and administration wise everything will be different. But everybody still using the 10, 11 version BW engine. So this is the versions mostly we have, and there is a product from the 5.6 onwards. They are actually renaming the Tibco Business Works as a Active Matrix Business Works. So somewhere you can see that product like Tibco AMX BW. In short form, you can say that Tibco Active Matrix Business Works. Okay, this is from 5.6 onwards. They are just rename the product with the Active Matrix BDX. Business Works, and you can see what are the components you will be using. See, as a middleware, if you want to integrate with the external application, so there should be a adapters or connectors that will be available. So these adapters will be given. These are the technology adapters and application adapter. By default, when you install the Tibco Business Works, there is no adapters will be coming. So we have to install that technology adapters like file, or there is a database called active database. This is nothing but database adapter. These two adapters will be using widely, and as you only the adapter functionality, why the adapter will be required. So adapter will be just connecting to the external application and will get the data into the Tibco Business Works. So once if Tibco Business Works process all the data, and then if you want to send that information to the target applications, again the adapters will be doing that job. So basically the source and target applications are syncs, and the source and sync will be your adapter part. So through the adapters only all your Tibco will be communicating to the external application. This is actually how data will be coming and going out of the Tibco. And once the other product we have is the enterprise messaging service. This is nothing but this is basically the bus and enterprise. This is basically the bus architecture you will be using. So for that we are using the Tibco have the two. One is the EMS is nothing but it's a implementation of Tibco implementation of JMS. You might have heard Java Messaging Service Framework. It's a Java framework. So the EMS is nothing but it's a Tibco implementation. Tibco implementation of JMS. So this one will be widely using, and this is completely server-based architecture EMS. And there is another messaging model we have, Renjuous. We simply used to say RV in short form, and there is a Renjuous protocol. So this is not a server-based and it will be there. And backend there is a RV daemon will be running. So it will be another kind of messaging protocol here, and after that we'll be having the Business Works engine. Okay, what this Business Works engine will do, once we develop any business process using Tibco Business Works technology, so the Business Works applications will be running on this Business Works engine. So and another product what we were using is the Hawk. What exactly this will do? This will do the monitoring purpose. Whenever you want to do the application or enterprise level monitoring, if you want to do all this kind of monitoring, you can use the Hawk. Every product has to be separately installed, every product. And this Hawk will basically, I'll just give you a simple example where exactly you need to do the Hawk. There is a scenario that your application is interacting with the database, or the application is interacting with web service. So whenever your application is interacting with the web service or database, and you just deploy the application, and sometimes the application database is down or web service is down. So in that case, where application, as per event base, if an application gets triggered, and always you will be getting the error notification saying that database is down or web service is down. In that case, so you can just write up a rules. The Hawk, everything will work like a rules. So you can just create a rule basis, and you can just check whether underlying the database or web service is up and running. So you can just put a ping, and you can set a time interval so that you can for 5 or 10 seconds for 1 minute you can just continuously ping, And in case if you find the database or web service is down, then you can do the certain set of actions. That actions can be, you can just send an alert to the console, or you can just send an alert to the email notification, and you can just directly go ahead and stop the currently running Tibco business works process. And automatically as we say, created a rule, it will keep on checks for every 1 minute, something depends on the interval that we set. It will go ahead and check whenever the web services or databases comes up, and then again it automatically start the process. So this is the way how it will basically do the all monitoring. It's not only monitoring the only process engine, even it can monitor the system level information, disk storage, and it will be extended for each and every component we will be using the monitoring. So whenever you install the specific Tibco product, there is some kind of Hawk plugins will be installing for each. Suppose if you install the EMS, enterprise messaging service, you will get some sort of Hawk methods will be coming up with the installation of the EMS, so that you can use those EMS Hawk methods for the managing the EMS monitoring for the EMS application, EMS related components. And next, if you install adapters, you will be getting some other Hawk methods, which some plugins will be getting, so to monitor the adapter. So this is how it, and other one, everything, that one is a Tibco administrator. So what exactly this Tibco administrator will do, this all your applications will be deployed in a Tibco administrator. So all you can manage your applications, you can add EMS server plugin, and you can add everything, these informations, and you can monitor and manage everything. So if you want to stop the process, you want to start the process, if you want to check the logs, you can deploy and deploy. All these administration activities can be done using Tibco administrator. So the main component that we have to install is there is a component called TRA, nothing but a Tibco runtime agent. This is a framework for the Tibco application. Whenever you want to run any product, first TRA agents should be installed and running. What exactly this will do? This will provide the all runtime capabilities, all the third-party core libraries, and whatever the libraries will be required for runtime supporting. This will be has to be installed first. This is a Tibco framework. On top of the Tibco runtime agent, we have to install all other products like Active Business Works, or adapters, or EMS, or then Hawk, anything, whatever the applications you want to install. On top of the TRA only you have to install. Suppose you can just set up a one mission with the only adapters. So only one mission with adapter, and we can just set up another mission only with BW service. So what exactly you can do that? What are the required softwares need to be installed on this one? Because you want the adapter to be installed only one Tibco component, so you can just have to install first TRA. On top of TRA, you can just install the required adapter here.
So first is on one machine you will have the administrator, and one machine you will have all the
you can set up anyway, but whichever machine you want to run any adapter and any Tibco BW component, TRA must be installed.
So wherever you need to run, whichever environment, whichever machine you want to run your business works or any other like business events or business works, that's where the runtime environment should be installed.
Exactly.
But the administrator console can be on a separate machine.
So administrator will be given for separately, and Tibco BW this comes with the administrator. And if you want Tibco Business Connect, there is no separate console, but you can use the Tibco administrator. You can just link that too. But when it comes to the Tibco Business Event, there is a separate server component, there is separate URLs and everything. There is separate administration tab is there. So we can directly, there is a component called monitoring and management. So where you can just go ahead and directly deploy all your application, Tibco Business Event application. At the same time, you can even use the Tibco administrator also. So for that one, not only come to the Tibco administrator, you can use the monitoring and management component.
Okay, another quick question for what did I want to ask you? Business works. Sorry, I forgot what I wanted to
Okay, it's okay. So whenever you just got reminded, I mean, you got idea, right? So you can just continue. So suppose you want to install, if you want to set up a one machine using one machine should only have the, consider there is a adapter called only database adapter. Okay, there is a adapter only if you want to set up one machine with ADB adapter and other machine with only BW. So in that case, for that machine first install the TRA and then on top of TRA you have to install ADB adapter. So that will be sufficient for your application. And rest of the other machine you want to set up with the BW, there you just need to install TRA and then you just need to install the BusinessWorks. And rest of the products we can install anywhere, like admin can be installed on another machine and Hawk. But whenever you install Hawk, right, whenever you, whichever machine you want to monitor through the Hawk should be installed on every component, so that the corresponding agent will be running in backend. So please go ahead.
Sorry. So basically, what I wanted to ask was, so the machine that we are talking about, what machine is this? Is it a Linux machine or is it a web?
Anything machine. It will support some platforms like Windows, Linux, and some other formats, whatever we have it, right? We can see the any Tibco product. We'll see what are the list of operating system that will support.
Okay, because means when you say machine, I thought it was like a what do you say? Like an application server or a web server. It should be installed in a web server for.
Okay. Suppose basically what we'll have when she comes into the project, right? So when you set up a one domain, so as part of one domain, they'll be distributing all your applications. They'll be adding 10 machines. Okay, 10 machines depends on your applications capability and number of applications. They'll be creating multiple systems.
Okay.
So and each application you saw sometimes they some type of only consider there is only adapters will be configured on separate machine and only BW engine will be configured on one set of machines. Like consider there is a 10 machines I have added for one domain. So for the I have installed only Tibco BusinessWorks on 3 machines and only rest of the adapters I installed only 3 machines and the rest of the things if I business events we installed only 3 machines. So I can just now use out of 10 machines. If I want to go and deploy the BusinessWorks, I have only 3 machines. Out of 3 machines, I can select which machine I want to go ahead and deploy it.
Okay.
So it depends on the number of applications you are using in your application. Based on that, they will be adding keep on machines.
So when you say application, is it the environment like test based?
Yes, exactly. No, application nothing but how many services you will be going to deploy in your project. That is depends on that. They will be setting the environment. How many number of machines will be required, because that if you develop multiple applications that has to be support the load and system resources will be available, right? So they'll consider while developing environment, they'll be consider all these points they'll consider.
Sure.
Okay, this is how you need to set up the mission. Now let's come and see if you install what are the TRA, what are the products will be installed. Okay, what are the products will be installed and what is the use of each one. So this will give you, because with this setup you can just get some picture, because why we are installing the TRA. TRA will be just only providing the runtime capabilities to your Tibco applications. So next, why we are using the Tibco BusinessWorks. This is where we have been using creating our applications business process using the when we install Tibco BusinessWorks, you will be getting so many talents. I mean nothing but activities I can say. So each activity you can interact. One activity you can interact the file. One activity you can interact the database. One activity you can interact with the JMS application. So this will give some set of activities once you install the Tibco BusinessWorks. So using these activities you can build up a logic. So once you build the logic, you have to run that process. That process will be run on the BW engine. Okay, once your application is running and test environment, now you need to deploy that application into administrator. Once you that, so for that component you need the Tibco administrator. So once you deploy the application, you need to deploy that application to the administrator. And if you want to monitor the applications inside the Tibco environment, you just need to install the Hub. And since we are using the middleware, you will be go for the messaging model, server-based messaging model. So this we have the server-based. These are two types of messaging models. You have enterprise messaging service and RangeOS. This is the I guess RangeOS is proprietary to the Tibco, and this is the EMS is the it's a just Tibco implementation of the JMS. Java messaging service is implemented by the Sun, and it's I guess open source something, and that they have captured and then implemented their functional. They have enhanced their JMS functionalities with the Tibco implementation.
So what situations you will use what are the situations does EMS come into play versus around RV come into play?
Okay, the EMS is server based. Suppose we have suppose we have 5 applications, and EMS is server based application, so it will be little bit processing slow compared to RV. Okay, and whenever you want to go for kind of stocks application processing something, right? Stock, and there will be application should be very fast, because the stacks stacks information will be changing very seconds, minutes, right? So that where will be going to use the RangeOS application there. So it will be faster. RangeOS will be faster. It is not a server-based component basically. So there is a RVD components will be running for everything. If one component is down, and rest of the applications will be running other components. But one case, if EMS server goes down, and there is the high availability and fault tolerance, you can set up this one, or load balancing you can set one. But it will be little bit slow compared to that. This is server, completely server based. All your message information will be stored in server. And
so RV is more like it will be running on every machine,
exactly.
Like a background process.
Exactly.
Always.
RV will run. This is nothing but RangeOS daemon.
I see. So it is like your some kind of messaging which keeps on running, and it is for your internal. Is it for internal communication also from BusinessWorks to Business Connect? Can that
exactly all your administrations will be there? Is only 2 protocols will be there while setting your administrator. So that is the one is the EMS protocol, nothing but JMS protocol. Other one is the RVD. So either of them we have to use. But if you come into some of the things, if you want to work with Hawk, RVD has to be installed in your system. So RVD both work. Some of the internal applications internally they will do everything communication with RVD.
I see.
Yeah, we were okay now, and this is the way if you want to interact any kind of file, and if anyway we have as a part of BusinessWorks application, we already have this kind of file, and the ADB database JDBC palettes will come, but only those applications are limited to certain functionality. Like if you want to handle use data and huge volume of data, then we'll come back to the adapters, or else we can directly use the BusinessWorks itself. So because BusinessWorks also we have the palettes to handle the file communication with the file system and database also.
So what you are saying is, so BusinessWorks has internal capability to consume file-based protocols and database adapters, queues, HTTP.
Exactly, everything will have.
I'll show you. Now, and on top of it, okay, on top of it, that you have to install adapters if you want it to be faster.
Yeah, if you want to handle huge number of volumes, right? So in that case, you'll be just going. So instead of suppose you want to read some 10 MB of CSV file, okay? So while reading a 10 MB CSV file, what exactly BW activity, file activity, that is an activity called read file activity. Next, I'm going to show you that Tibco designer. Okay. First, I will have to come back to the what are the applications that will be installed when you suppose install the TRA. What exactly the things will be installed? That will be mandatory to understand. So once we come back that, I will just come back to that point. Okay, I'll give you clarify that question.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay, now once we install the TRA, there is a some points as some components will be installing. The main components is the one is the RV will get installed by default. RV get installed rangeos, and other one it will install is a Tibco designer. And this RV will be used for RV. You can use, if you want to develop a programs with RV, you can use RV, or it will use internal communication also. And the designer, Tibco designer. Why will you use this Tibco designer? Tibco designer is where you will be developing your business works, business process. So this is what your design time environment. Okay, in that design time environment, when you install TRA, you will just get only 2 plugins. That will be only some adapter resource, and I'll show you that plugin. What are the plugin? Without installing the Tibco BW, you won't get all the palettes, and you won't get even a process also. You can't be able to define any process. If you open just any Tibco business works existing project, once you install the TRA, before installing the Tibco BW, if you just open Tibco designer, if you try to open the existing project, it will show you everything as an unknown file type.
Oh, okay.
So that on top of the that's why once you install the TRA, then you'll going to install Tibco BW. With that Tibco BW, there will be some palettes will be coming. This is nothing but one palette is nothing but a one jar file. I can say it's a plugin.
Okay.
Okay, so all your Tibco plugins will be coming into this Tibco designer. Once you install, when you just restart all the things, it automatically, as part of installation, it will update the configuration file. So once you install the Tibco BW, if you already open the designer, if you just close it and reopen the designer, you can see all the activities will be getting automatically installed. And this is another product it will install with the installation of our TRA is the domain utility. What exactly this will do? Once you this domain utility, everything nothing but if you want to set up any kind of related task to the domain. Suppose if you want to create a domain, if you want to delete a domain, if you want to modify a domain, if you want to just add a one machine to the domain, and if you want to add a secondary machine, and if you want to change your administration password, that case we will be using the domain utility. And there is other things we'll be using the scripting utilities and other things we'll be using. But that this is the main components we have to be understand, and there is a Hawk also it will get installed. This is just Hawk agent will get installed. The Hawk agent, what exactly it will do? This will run on every machine background, and this Hawk agent should be running if you want to use a Tibco administrator. And if you want to develop a rule basis, you will be installing another component. As I told you, that Tibco Hawk you need to install. With that Tibco Hawk, what exactly you will get? You will get a design time environment like GUI based, where you can just there is an application component called Tibco Hawk display. So using this Tibco Hawk display GUI, you can just go ahead and create your rule bases using the drag and GUI base. Once you create a rule basis, it internally generates an XML file. That XML file you can just you can say Hawk rule basis. This rule basis you can directly deploy either two ways. One is directly you can just deploy Hawk rule basis to the administration domain using the Hawk display, or you can directly come back to the administration and open a specific application and you can just link that rule basis here. And this is the main components will get installed with the TRA. So this is the components will get installed with the TRA. After that, you just need to you will be installing BW. You will be getting all the activities, and then you will be installing the EMS product, also separate EMS product. So with that EMS product, you will be getting the EMS. There is a two components will basically come. EMS server will come, and to create EMS related objects, we will be using the EMS admin tool. Nothing but administration tool. Using this admin tool, you can just connect to the server that you started here. So you can create all your queues, topics, connection factories, all your server level configuration and everything, you can just go ahead and retrieve server level configuration information using the EMS admin tool. And this is the only tool. And if you want to do programmatically, there is a EMS API will be also there. So you can use using Java, some other technology, you can just directly call that one. And similar to RV also, either you can use a palette that comes with the Tibco BW, or you can just directly use there is a RV API will be using, so you can directly use that RV API also. And EMS admin tool, then the last product will be installing the administrator. So once you install the administrator, the last task is to automatically it will open you the Tibco domain utility. Once the administrator got successfully installed, the last task it automatically run that domain utility. This domain utility, we have to create a domain using domain utility. So then it will be administrator will be set up. Once you want to run the domain utility, once you created the domain using domain utility, there will be two services will be running. In if you see Windows services, right? Services.msc, there will be two services will be running. One is the Arc agent will be running with that domain name, and Tibco administrator service will be running with the domain name. So these two things has to be start if you want the run. Tibco administrator should be running. Tibco administrator underlying product will use the Tomcat server.
Okay.
I hope this is the things only we'll be using. Now let's go back to how it will show the installation directory and where exactly we need to go and change it. Now go to my computer. By default, it will get installed with the. I have in local system. I have installed only limited components. Some of the components only installed. This is one thing I want to tell you, the Tibco components, right? So because basically I use Office system, so we work with the virtual desktop, so we are not supposed to install anything in the local system. Okay, so if we install anything, so that will block some internal portal access. So that's why what we will do that. First we install the product. First we install the Tibco product here. After that, we will just copy that installation directory, complete installation directory to the somewhere D directory. We will just take a backup. After that, we uninstall it. Okay, we uninstall it and just copy that installation backup to here. See, so that what exactly will do our internal application, right? There will be some services will be running with the Windows services, so they will be installing the. It will go ahead and delete the Windows registry, and it will, if you see any kind of license applications or third-party applications it is showing, it will just block some internal access for us. So that's why we just copied back directly the Tibco folder to here. Okay. So you can see that all set up here, but when you open from the start, right? When you go for all programs, you can't see all this information. Why we can't? That is the reason. Yeah. Okay. Now I have only installed the Tibco business events, but that one you can just go ahead and see here. Okay. Business events. Like that you can see that. But if you go ahead and see. For the Tibco business events, earlier versions they have used the Tibco designer itself as the underlying component to develop the business rule basis also, business events rules also. But now they have, after 4 versions, something 3 version or not, they come up with there is a studio that is Eclipse based. So they have
separate studio for business events.
Yeah, business events for separate studio for business events. Now similar to the studio now for business work 6 version, right? They have given like this one only, Eclipse based one. And even if you come for the Tibco BPM, Active Matrix BPM also, you can see that studio. Similar to that, you can see that. Only thing is, right, that perspective, right, how it looks like. That perspective will be adding and they'll be customizing that one. Yeah. Because studio, there you no need to drag and drop everything in business events, so you'll be just creating everything. But if you come back to the Tibco business Active Matrix BPM, you will be having all BPM and notation activities, or you'll be ready to drag and drop. So they have customized the perspective in such a way that you can do all these graphical functionalities. So, but you can see that.
Quick question. Okay, there are two things. Okay, one is business events, which you said it is to do the complex business processing. Yeah. Then what is this Active Matrix business BEP?
Sorry, Active Matrix.
You said, right, there is a separate BPM.
BPM. This is workflow management, business process management.
Okay, what is the difference between BPM and?
So there is a component. Suppose we want to just take a simple scenario, loan approval process. So loan approval process, just consider that a loan approval process. There is some kind of certain process we have defined your logic, but there is a requirements. Suppose I'm the customer of I'm just applying for loan, and if I apply for loan something like 1 lakh rupee per loan, and you can just build up your process. If it is less than 1 lakh, you can directly go the automation process. No need of any kind of approval. Everything will be done with the automation. But if you just go cross the 1 lakh, your approval loan amount will be 1 lakh or more than 1 lakh, you can just set up a manager approval. You need to go ahead and take the approval from the manager. That is a kind of manual task. So you have to display a form with all these loan amount details to the manager. There will be work list item will be creating, task will be creating to the manager. So that he will be going and logging ahead, and then he will be clicking on either approve or reject. Based on approve or reject his action, the rest of the business process will be continuing.
So that is the business BPM.
BW will be completely with automation. So BPM is nothing but you can just set up a workflow activities and you can add the task. So you can include the human task or system level task, everything you can include. So you can display a forms to the user to take the inputs. Suppose if while you're taking the inputs, right, you just display a form to do the loan details. Similar that your forms and everything will be there. Forms will be creating to take the inputs and to do the inputs. So using this form, they might capture the input information. Suppose there is a loan, you can just go to the any kind of loan insurance company somewhere. You can just fill all your details in a UI. Once you submit the button, your business process will be starting out. So there will be sequence of tasks they will be executing. One of the tasks you can directly use the Tibco business works for integration the technologies, because the BPM won't have that much capabilities for integrating. They won't have any adapters. So if you want to do the integration, again you have to come back to the Tibco BW.
I see.
So either you have any kind of protocol, either you can use the file or FTP, or then we don't have any kind of file and FTP I guess in BPM, but we have the database, EMR, JMS concepts, and event based on web services. Using this, you can interact with any other components, either Tibco or external components.
I see. I see.
So this is the what basically that one. Now we can see that by default Tibco will be installed on the Tibco. All your Tibco components will be inside this folder only. So now if you install any adapter, you will just get a adapter folder. Inside that adapter, you will see this is only I have installed active database ADB adapter. Nothing but active database adapter. Inside that, if you install any file adapter, you can see the another folder called AD files.
What if I am interacting with an Oracle database, application database?
No, database is there, only one adapter will be installing. For that, you just need to select the vendor, whether you want to connect to the Microsoft SQL server or it's a Oracle database or MySQL server. Based on the driver you can set up, but the only one adapter can handle all types of adapters.
I see.
So all type of databases. So if you install multiple Tibco adapters, you can see the multiple folders here with each different. Like if you install people server adapter, if there is a folder called, you can see ADP soft. If you install files file adapter, you can see the folder called AD files. All the corresponding setup will be there because the adapters internally use the SDK. Tibco SDK they will be using that one. So that's why the SDK will be installing by default.
Okay.
When you install any adapter, that SDK will be installing. And if you install a Tibco administrator, you can see you see the folder called Tibco administrator. Inside that, this is actually installed with BPM. I was trying to install BPM, so that way you can see a 3.0 version. So basically, it won't show the version like that. This is installed with the Active Matrix administrator. This is not as the classical one.
Okay.
Okay. Now you can see if you install any BE components, you can see inside BE, you can see all these kind of setup. If you by default I told you that there is a TRA will be installing first. Inside the TRA you can see all these components will be installing.
I see.
You can see that somewhere in the bin folder they will be giving some kind of scripting utilities like app manage and build here. What exactly you can do with these things, right? You can just create a business process and you can just create archive file. Using that archive file, if you want to run your application on a Tibco administrator, there should be a ER file will be creating enterprise archive. So with this ER file will be completely giving your all your business process information. Which process has to be triggered, how you want to trigger that. You already specified in the business process. So that business process you are just creating an archive file similar to jar file. If you want to run Java application, use the jar file. So if you want to run BW application, you need to generate a ER file. So that you can either generate with the Tibco designer UI base, or if you want to customize. So once you get into the project, they will be using some kind of AND script. So there will be automation, everything. So you can just use these scripting utilities for you can using this app manager. You can just start application, deploy and deploy. You can do any administration activities. You can with that you can just build here. That here will be using here, and you can use the deploy.
Nice.
So I told you domain utility, right? So this is the domain utility. So you can just trigger this. You need double click on it, you open the domain utility, and you can do all these functionalities. But inside this domain utility, we'll use some of these applications. You can see some of the applications will be there. You can use other applications. This one. So when you see domain utility, you can see what are the tasks you can perform: create or delete administration domain, add a machine to administration domain, modify server settings, add or remove Tibco administrator plugins. You want to manage EMS installation, EMS server details, right? You can just add EMS server to the Tibco administrator, so you can directly manage there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just I got one message from my team member. So just give me a minute. I want to share some contact details with them because
Sure.
there are some working as production environment somewhere, and they are asking contact details.
Oh, take your time.
Sorry, actually that number is getting busy. Okay, so you can do this Tibco domain using that. You can do all these functionalities. Now I am just coming down to the designer. Okay, this is where you can just see the designer. That designer will just go back to this designer, and now you can see if you install any kind of EMS server, right? Tibco EMS, you can see the folder like Tibco EMS, and all hawk will be by default. Hawk will be installed with the TRA. That you can see only agent will get installed inside bin. See, Hawk agent will get installed. This is Hawk micro agent. This will run on your system backend.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Actually, I muted my one. Okay, so you can see the designer here. Designer, you can open the designer from here. This will get installed with the TRA. So you can just go ahead bin. Either you can just create a shortcut, something like that, and you just run designer. Okay, we'll go back to the designer. Let it open. We'll go back to this one. Now if we install the EMS, right, you can see the EMS folder. Inside that you'll see all this server level configuration you can see here. So now my designer is open. We will see that designer once we can finish this one. Now we can see the Hawk. This Hawk will be get installed by default with the TRA. This one is Hawk a micro agent. HMI nothing but Tibco Hawk micro agent. This will be running backend your system, so that will monitor all your system level and applications level of properties, application level information. So this is where exactly I told you, right? With the installation of TRA will get all this. TRA also, RangeOS also will get installed. This is a RangeOS folder they will install. By default it will get installed with the 8.1. And if you install any kind of other products, right? Because I was trying to install the Tibco AMX BPM, that get installed in 8.2. 8.2. And other products like this internally Tibco will get installed. Tibco specific JRE will get installed. So Tibco internally, because for the other products, but BW we have to use the Tibco JRE. But if you want to go for other products like Tibco BPM, either you can use the Sun Micro provided JRE, or you can use the Tibco one. Either of them you can use it. And some of the folders you can see, because of that I was trying to install the BPM. This is Tibco host, TCT, these all things will be, you can see the BPM folder, BPM config files. These all things you can see this thing, because of that BPM I was trying to install it. So you can see these folders, but you can see the TPCL and tools. This is where the third party core libraries will get installed with the TRA. This is where.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you can see that if you want to, suppose you have using some one external jar file, consider there is a requirement saying that whatever the FTP palette that has given in the Tibco BW, it is not supporting for some of the features.
because I have faced this issue because I have trying to client application FTP connector, it didn't connect because FTP server is hosted on some different kind of servers, so that is not allowing this kind of thing. So basically, what exactly you can do if you want to get and send a file, there you will be using a put and send, put and get. This put and get won't work. This put and get will work with common systems. If you want the kind of specific systems, what exactly there is FTP commands called raw commands. This put and get will translate the commands to raw command information, then it will access it. So that where exactly that for that FTP we were supposed to use the raw commands. So that we were not able to handle with the FTP parallel. So what exactly you can do? I just write in a custom Java code. So with that Java code, I have used the Apache libraries. Because for that one, I have to place my Apache jar file. So that one you can directly come back to the Tibco TPCL folder, then go back to lib directory, then you can just directly drop it out here.
I see.
All your libraries, once you drop it, you don't need to restart anything. But if you do any kind of this, you can store it any other folder. You can just reference the configuration file. Suppose let's see, we'll just go back to one configuration file. Now go back to designer. Suppose this is where when you run the designer will read all configuration, these things from the TRA. So every configuration file in Tibco ends with the TRA, Tibco runtime agent, something like that. Okay, just open Notepad++, what exactly it will do. Suppose you want to change the heap size. Sometimes it won't allow you to take the heap size of some 1 GB something. Or if you are running a local machine, by default it will come with 256 MB. But this 256 MB will be not able to handle properly if you have the multiple BW processes there. You can see that slowness. So in that case, you can just go ahead and change the heap size to 1 GB. You can run it. So this is where exactly you can see all these applications specific. If you want to play that jar file, you can directly add there is a class path here somewhere. You can see that here, custom class path extension. There you can just add that jar file directly here instead of placing that directly lib folder. Right? You can just reference that path also. So when the application,
when you write custom Java code to do the FTP fix in your case, how do you deploy that?
Yeah, we have that. I'll come back to that question also.
Okay.
Okay. So now let's open the Tibco designer. This is how it looks like Tibco designer. This is basically two things. One is a project and administration task. Why exactly this administration task is given? So once you deploy your project to the administration, there is a concept. There is a component called adapter. That adapter will be converting that application adapter configuration project is converting to the DAT file. Okay. If you want to, that DAT file is nothing but single file. Your entire project will be converted to one single file. But if you want to work in a designer, you have to convert the DAT file to the multi-file project. Multi-file project, nothing but it's the designer project. Once you can able to open, see all these your each file. Suppose if you create a one process, there will be one file you will be creating in backend. So if you want to see this kind of multi-file project, you have to convert. You have to come back to here. You can just convert to DAT to file and file to DAT. So this is what. Basically, you will use these two options for that one, and the rest of the time you never go to the administration tab. Then now we'll just go back to the project tab. There you can create a new empty project. There is something like new project from template, and suppose there you just what exactly? Suppose sometimes you need to create your every organization while developing the Tibco application, they will be following some sort of project structure. Like this is a folder which has to be renamed like this, and this is a connection which has to be placed like this. They'll be organizing all this structure. So some of the activities also they'll put it, what are the logging and all this stuff will be putting. So for that one you can just directly create some sort of skeleton project and you can save that as a template. While you creating any time new project, you can just take that skeleton as a reference. So it is based on that skeleton your project will be created. This is if you want to open already existing project. If you want to open, you can just open the existing project, and if this is to show you some of the recent projects that we have opened, because sometimes this is not exactly working in local, some problem is there. So if you want to delete a project, you can just use the delete project. Okay, now let me go ahead and open an existing project. I want to show you a small demo. Okay, what exactly we were doing is I just developed a sample application. Okay, now let me open that one. This is not exactly for that purpose. I have created some kind of UI based this thing. I just gonna show you to HTTP palette and database palette, and then file palette. I'm just going to show you that. Okay, here I just created a folder called HTTP. This is how you can see that. Okay, let me go back to this one first. Okay, if you don't install VW, only the two components will get installed. That one is the this is the general. You can see that here only this thing will get this palette will comes with the TR installation. If you want to use this one, right, this is a file I told you, right, ER file identity create file replying in the administrator. This is using UI. You can do that from designer. You can just create it, and another palette will come is the adapter resources. These are only two palettes will come with the installation of TRA. Once you install the BW, you can see all these palettes: general activity, HTTP, JDBC, JMS, Java, manual work, parse, policy, process, NGOS, SOAP, service, TCP, transaction, WSDL, XML activity, XML tools. These are all things you can just install with. Once installation done the installation of BW, these all things will come up. So once you install any adapter, right, for each adapter there is a one palette will come added. Then we'll add one palette for each adapter. So this is, you can see that there is a database adapter got installed. You can see the one adapter here, one adapter palette. So using this palette, you can just configure adapter. You can just run it and deploy it. Okay, but using Tibco designer, you can run all your Tibco applications like Tibco BW. You can run Tibco adapters. You can run. Okay, now let's see what exactly the logic I have done. Okay, basically I am just receiving the order details here. So basically I am just receiving order details. First, initially I'll try to trying to display an HTML form to the user, just for capturing, for just taking all input parameters like first name, middle name, last name, date of birth, something like that. Then I'll be, and these are all the information I'll get it. So if my user, while triggering sending HTTP request to my process, if nothing is sending, okay, here I'm just validating. This is the conditions I just put whether this transaction has to be taken or not. Based on these conditions, this the transaction will execute. Otherwise, this condition will go ahead and execute. So now what exactly I'm just telling, there is a option called submit button. So I'll just show you the once I run the process. There is I'm just giving event button. If I don't get any value to the event, I'm just going on this one. If I'm not getting any event button, now I am just displaying here an HTML form. You can see that if there is no event is coming into the picture, then otherwise condition will execute and this will submit the HTML form. If any other things are coming, if you just submit a create button, so you will just get the create button, and I'm just calling this process dynamically. I'm just browsing calling one process from another process. There is a way that you can directly call the sub process here, but whichever process I am calling at design time, I am not sure whether I sometimes write the requirement. I can't able to identify which process should be called at design time. So that based on some parameters, it automatically runtime it will decide it. Suppose if you see the process naming convention here, create underscore and then query underscore. So now I am just giving an XPath expression to give the process name. So this is my HTTP inside HTTP folder. This is my event. Event will get either only create or a query. This is only. So when I get create underscore process. If I get query underscore process. Okay, like that this process will dynamically call. And if you run the create process, I'm just whatever the input parameters I'm just coming, that one I'm just transforming into XML. I'm just saving into a file. Because I know that you won't understand, because I'm just seeing this, so I want to show you some sample application by running it. Because at a single time you can't able to understand everything. Once your demo gets started, classes will get started, right? We'll just come back one by level. Okay. From scratch we'll just come. So this query process, what exactly you are doing, so once you run this process, this file will get generated. As soon as file will get generated, there is another process. It will be pulling for that directory, and then it will validate that file, and then it will insert it into the database. And once that done, right, and if you send a query event is equal to query, then I'll just go ahead and query it, and then I just generate HTML form here using the XSLT. You can see here XSLT. Using XSLT, you can just generate a form, and then it will be submitted to the response. Okay, let's see how it will go run it now. Okay, let me just clear my database things. Okay, let me suppose, okay, I don't want to drop all the things. Okay, now let me run this process. Let me show you how it will run it. Okay, so I'm just sending HTTP request from my browser. Come on. Okay, HTTP. My local host is, I'm just giving a host name as local host, and this is my port number. Okay, now let me run my port number now, because this time I am not passing any parameters. Okay, my process is running. Okay, this time I didn't pass any parameters, so my process will go to the otherwise condition, and then it will go ahead and display the otherwise condition here. In otherwise condition, I'm just putting the HTML form here. You see that one here, process is not responding. Okay, it got completely stuck. Okay, you can see that once I put without running any parameters, you can see that an HTML form got displayed. Because why it got displayed? Because here I have, if there is no parameters is passing. If you see that from parameters I reference here, then I'm just displaying this form, HTML form. I'm just displaying this one. So this is what the form it will display. And if you just give any information details, right? Suppose I want to generate some user something like Srinu. So I'll just give some random one. And phone number I'll just give. Then because I didn't set any kind of validation and all there. So as soon as I click create, right, that the event attribute will be filled up with the because if you see the source, right, what is the source I am using. See, this is the HTML form that got submitted. You can see that for submit button I am just passing the value create. So when I click on the create, right, for that event parameter, the value is going with the create option, create value. So when I just hit the create option, then it will come back and just see that whether this will have the value or not. So this will come value, and this will go ahead and call the either create process or query process, depends on. Now let me create it here, and now you can see there the process got triggered again, and as soon as this process got generated a file, that file is being processed by here. That is inserted into the database. Okay, now whatever the form they have, I have it, right. So once I saw that one got executed, I'm just sending a response saying a person inserted into the DB successfully with email ID like similar to this one. So now let me take the mobile number whatever I have given. Okay, using this mobile number, I'll just try to fetch all the information. I'm just giving this one. Without this also you can do that, but I while querying I didn't give any kind of filtering. Okay, let me run it again. My process will get triggered. I will get HTML form. You can see the third time my process got triggered. Now let me give my phone number. Okay, now let me query it. Now you can see that all the, because I did while querying I didn't put any kind of thing like select star. Just give the select star. That's it. You can see that generate HTML form. That HTML form is sent as a response. I'm just displaying this information as a HTML, just displaying in a table structure. Basically, you won't be using for this kind of thing. I'm just showing that these things also can done with Tibco. This HTML page and all these stuff and all, we won't be using this HTTP palette. So basically, we will be having. Okay, so once I'm done from almost my end, I'll try to tell you what are the things I'm going to cover in this one. Okay, first I'll cover if I get set up FTP, I'll show you the FTP, and I'll try to set up in local. If I could able to set up FTP server in local, I'll show you the FTP, or else you can just try with that. And there is a file I'll show you that. General activity will show you some of the activities, because all the activities we can't use at any time. So I'll try to cover most of the things. And HTTP will show you, and JDBC will show you, JMS will show you. And earlier your question, right, how if you use the Java activity, how you can deploy the custom solution in Tibco PW. Here for writing all Java kind of stuff, there will be one palette they given. Using Java code activity, you can just write your Java code here.
Okay.
So here, whatever the classes you differentiate, the classes should be available in the class path directory.
Okay.
So either you can just directly use the one of the classes from the jar using other activities. You can just transform the to and fro from the these Java activities, and we can see rangewas activities. So this is SOAP and service. These two are the web services. These two palettes purely for the web services. I'll try to cover this one. And TCP I won't cover. And RMI, this is remote method invocation. This is Java related one. I won't cover this one. Mail we can't set up in local. If I want, I'll show you from my client environment. And this is a manual work. This is basically earlier days they were using for workflow. From the Tibco, there is another component they'll be using for runtime component for the setuping workflow engine. Now nobody using this one because AMXDBM is already there. So I won't cover this mail, manual work, policy. Policy, this is just for security level. Because these things are all we can't set up in local, and RMI, TCP, I'll try to cover transaction. So only these things: mail, manual work, policy, RMI, TCP. Some of the things we can't cover. So remaining things I'll cover all these things, and I'll show you how to create ER file, how to create a domain, how to create admin, how to deploy using GUI, and how to deploy using custom utilities. I showed it. Add manager and build here from the DR admin directory. Some script utilities, how to show add emission something. All these things I'll try to cover, and I'll show you the half while how to create a rule basis. I'll just try to show you from my client environment because I don't have anything but installed half. I don't have anything for software. And EMS, I'll give you EMS in and out, but I'll just try to give RV overview because in most of the interviews they'll give only EMS, ask EMS. Very less projects they'll come with the RV.
Okay, and also you wanted to tell me where to get the documentation that
okay, so
you will means where you will get the examples.
Right? Once you install, right? Once you install, you just go to Tibco BW. If you want to go with the BW documentation, you can just go to that 5.6. Then doc, you can see the BW folder. Then PDF, you will just get it. You can see all this PDF. This is the one way you can actually go and.
This is there on the website also, right? This is there on the website.
Yeah, it is there. docs.tibco.com also it will be there. And if you want to get particular thing, then you just click on here, right? Where I can use the charting session. Okay, this one you will get it from the website docs.tibco.com where you can go ahead and browse also. So if you want either that one you can type when you click on what is this, right? This will take the HTML form. This you can see only PDF. This is HTML. That HTML will be able to access from here. I guess my thing from my side I am done. Okay, and now if you have any questions and then you can just.
Just basically, so these docs that you showed me, do they have like the examples step by step to do, or?
No, actually I have created this one, and because I already have another training session I'm giving already.
Okay.
Some of the online training I'm giving. So for that one, yesterday I developed this application and I just showed that one yesterday. Whatever the done yesterday, right, I just showed you guys.
I see. No, because this looks pretty advanced. This what you showed here is pretty advanced.
Yeah, actually I just think something I want to show that using HTTP, these all things can be done like that. I just showed this one.
I see. No, interesting. It is very interesting.
So I'll give you later on. I'll just try to give and examples. Try to see how it will go, everything. But I'll only able to cover some of the things, as I told you that some of the things I can't cover.
So the most and the ones that you can't cover, but you can give some details about it.
Yeah, that won't be even in real time. Also, you won't be using all the activities. Even if you have 5 years experience, the question they'll ask when you go for interview, what are the palettes you worked on? The first question will come from like this, because there is nothing like you should work on the palettes. In my application, you have FTP and SFTP, all this stuff. But other application, there will be no FTP, SFTP. They purely works on web services. Like that, there is depends on the project that will go completely.
I see.
If you have any questions, you can just go ahead and else I'll just inform the leader, so he will take care of it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Sridhar, are you there? Hello? Sridhar?
Maybe he's on mute.
Oh, okay. I'll just ping him that one.
Thank you, Vima.
Yeah.
I'll get in touch with Sridhar and schedule some time and all that, and I'll let you know.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for your lecture.
Okay.
Very interesting.
Thank you. So you are located in India or Chennai, or you are located somewhere else?
I am in US.
Oh, okay. That's why I want to.
Yeah, I'm in US, and I've been working on other integration product, and suddenly our company thought they're moving on to Tibco, and the company.
Which integration tool you are working currently?
Currently, I'm working. I've been working on WebSphere.
Currently, you told some other integration tool, right? What was that?
WebSphere message broker.
That you already earlier worked, right? The one you just trying, and now the customer changed it to the another integration tool.
That is the Tibco. That is what Tibco Business Connect and Business Works.
Okay.
So it is Tibco. They are trying to move from WebSphere to Tibco Business Connect and Sterling.
Okay, Sterling integrator.
Sterling integrator. That I worked previously.
Okay.
So I worked on many.
So you have worked on many other integration products.
Yeah. The Sterling Gentran, and WebSphere message broker and WebSphere. But do we need extensive Java for this?
No. Tibco is purely meant for zero coding.
I see.
99% pure zero coding. Rest of the things, as I told you, right, there are some exceptional cases.
I know.
Java code for FTP. So that in the exceptional case you will be
very exceptional cases you will be able to
wherever the input functionality is not sufficient for your requirement, then you will go for it.
And they give all the APIs for that.
No, they won't give anything. We have to Google it, whatever the things that went.
I see.
So because that they are not in their scope, right? So we are going out of Tibco now.
Correct.
So whatever things you require, we have to set up and we can use it.
Interesting. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Actually, you're very interesting.
Thank you.
Sir. Bye.